Hello and welcome. My name is Debbie Reed. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Kingston, Idaho. And today I have a really cute card to show you that I am making with the Mountain Air stamp set and the Petal to the Metal. I will also be using a mountain scene from the Snowfront and a little mountain scene from Waterfront, and we will be using the birthday sentiment from the Timeless Tropical. I will show you what we're going to be using to make the card, and this is the cute card we're going to be making. Oops, dropped too much stuff here. We're going to be using Mossy Meadow card base. We're going to be using a Very Vanilla for the inside of the card. We're going to be using a piece of Whisper White. We're going to be using the subtle embossing folder in Seaside Spray. We're going to be using a piece of Crumb Cake and a piece of Pear Pizzazz. Let me show you how to make the card. The very first thing we're going to do is take our card base and we're going to fold it in half, crease it with our bone folder. Then we're going to take the subtle embossing folder, and I already pre-put it through the folder, but you're going to run this through the Big Shot machine, and I'm going to glue this to the card base. And glue this down. We're going to leave about 1/4 of an inch border. Okay, and then we're going to set this aside, and I'm going to show you how to make all of these other little pieces to this card. So this will be the inside of the card, and I'll just get that out of the way right now. So I'm going to use the birthday sentiment. Let's see, where's that block for this one? There we go. And I'm going to ink this in the Memento black ink. Okay. Just ink that up there. And then we're going to ink the little bird in the set and put that up there. And then we're going to ink the little tree in Old Olive, and I need to get a piece of scrap paper. And we're going to ink this in the Old Olive, and we're doing the 2 stamping where you do the stamp off, okay, and that's the inside. We'll let that dry. And then we're going to take this white piece of paper, and let me put the lids back on these so I don't make a mess here. We're going to take this piece and we're going to just do a rip and tear around the edges of this Whisper White piece. It won't be Whisper White when we're done with it. So we're going to just tear all the way around. Now Stampin' Up! Sells the sponges, and they come in a pack of 3. And what we're going to do is take the sponge and we're going to cut it in quarters, and then you're going to end up with that piece. So we're going to take our Crumb Cake and we're going to sponge all the way around this. So this pretty white piece is no longer pretty white. I had to make sure that was Crumb Cake. It looked like a little bit darker than I thought, but I guess we're good. Okay, we're just sponging in a circular motion, nothing too crazy. All right, that's pretty good. Simple so far, right? Okay. Okay, now we're going to take from the mountain, we're going to use the stamps from the Snowfront and the Waterfront. And we're going to stamp this also in the Crumb Cake. Let me get some stuff out of my way here. Okay, we're going to ink this up in the Crumb Cake. And we're going to just stamp this on this mountain. And on this mountain. And then we'll do the reverse on this one. We'll stamp in the middle. And then I'm going to stamp down on the lower part just to give it more of a mountain. And I'll stamp down on the middle of this one. I'll stamp up. Okay, then I'm going to take some soft suede and I'm going to ink up this other stamp. Get that out of the way. Okay, and now we're going to just stamp this on here. And we're just creating some just different variances in on this little mountain scene that we're creating here. You can use a blender pen and blend some of this, or you can just leave it. We're going to actually sponge the edge of this, and you can actually sponge some extra color on. So that's just to give this plain mountain some texture. The stamp set actually has a beautiful stamp that has the full mountain scene. Beautiful, but it was too much for what I was wanting on this card. So the next thing I'm going to do is take the soft suede and we're going to ink up the top of this card just to get rid of some of that variance of color on there, or to give it a little more depth actually. So we're just inking along there, sponging, and then we'll do that to this one as well. Okay. Oops. All right, that's good. And then we're going to take our card base back. What I did, I'm kind of stepping ahead here. I ended up pre-stamping these two pieces. So this in the catalog, let me grab the catalog real quick. In the catalog, it shows this as a cloud, and I'm using it as boulders. So right there, they're showing this as a cloud, and in our card today, I'm using it as boulders. So you kind of have to just, use your imagination when you do things. So I'm going to take some, let me see what colors here. Let's take some light and dark gray granite of our blends, and I want to use the other end, so hold on a second. We're going to just color this real quick. Nothing fancy here either, you're just adding color. And then we're going to blend it again with the lighter. And then I'll take the lighter one and blend it all back. Just like that. Then I'm going to take my scissors and fussy cut this. And it cuts out really super quick. So when you're cutting, you always keep your scissors at the 12 o'clock position, 11, 12, 1 o'clock, and you turn your paper, not your scissors. And things cut out super quick that way. So we're almost to the end here. And we'll let this dry while we do the rest of the card. And that's good right there. Okay, now you would color this little side by side. I already colored a piece, so you don't have to sit and watch me color this. It will take you about 2 minutes to color it, another minute to cut it out. But to save time, I decided to just move along a little bit. Okay, now we're going to take our card base that we already layered with the subtle embossing folder. We're going to place our mountains on here. We're going to place this on here just to kind of get a feel for how this is going to lay out. And I'm going to actually keep this direction. I'm going to move that out of the way. We're going to put the sentiment here. And that is going to be, I hope your day is full of adventure. I'm going to ink that in the Memento black. And then we're going to take our car and kind of have a rough idea where it's going to be sitting on here. And I'm going to be inking. Where did my other block go? Let's see. Here we are. We're going to put this with this soft suede. We're going to make some tire tracks and just kind of have an approximate where this is going to be sitting on here. So I think this will go there and there and maybe one down here. Okay, that's good. And then I'm going to get this out of the way. We're going to take one of the mountains. Let's see, do we want the darker one? Oh, that's good. We're going to glue this to the card base. This is really a fun, simple card to put together. If you just have all of your little pieces, you know, die cut, and if you're die cutting and you're making, you know, one card, you might as well make 4. So die cut extra pieces, because then you can always store them in your stamp case and use them for a later date. If you're in a hurry, you can still put this card together. So now what I'm going to do, I already pre-cut and stamped some trees. So you're going to stamp 3 of the single trees and 2 of the double trees. And we are going to position these trees. They're going to be stacked like this. So I want the 2 trees, I want this to be tucked under. I don't want to see this edge. So we're going to kind of stagger these trees. I know this looks silly right at the moment, but bear with me. And I want this tree to stick up over this other mountain that's going to overlay on here. We are going to take this mountain and we're going to cut it right there. And we're going to take this cut edge and it's going to go over here, and this cut edge will be on the other side. And this is just to give us an idea how our little trees are going to sit on here. And so I'm going to move this over because I want to see this little tree. So we're going to go ahead and place this one down. And I'm just gluing the bottom. I'm not worried about the top. I would like to keep it looking more natural on the card. And by that I mean I don't want it to all be just glued down tight. I want to be able to just have this kind of pop up a little bit. So got that one down. Now we're going to take this one and do the same thing. We're just gluing a little on the bottom. And we're going to position this one also in between those mountains. I don't want it to be the same height as this one, so about right there. And then this one's going to go lower, and so I'm going to just trim a little of this off. And we're going to glue that. And it's going to come underneath this one a little below, like that. That looks good. Okay, now you can pop this up with a dimensional if you would like. And sometimes then if you do that, this card pops up. And I think I actually am going to do that. I have made a couple cards where I had it all flat and it looks good that way as well, but just for just a little bit of a difference, we're going to go ahead and put 2 dimensionals on here and pop this one up. Okay, we're going to place this here. It looks still silly, doesn't it? It's like, what is she doing? And we don't care about the bottom because that will be covered. So now we know on this card, we're going to be placing this tree over here. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. Once again, just gluing the bottom half. We're going to put that down. Let me see, like, I can put it over a tiny. And that will go like that. Okay, now our little boulder that we cut and colored, we're going to glue that to this bottom. And we're going to glue our little mountain on first. We're going to put that on the other side. And it will sit right there on this edge. Like that. And I can see I didn't trim this edge and that's bothering me, so I'm going to just cut that. There we go. And then we're going to take this piece now and glue it to the card base on the bottom. And it's going to go right there. So now we have kind of a look of water and sky. Got a piece up there I'm not liking. I'll have to work on that one. I'll have to figure something out there. Okay, now I'm going to take our boulders, which was really clouds, improvising, and I'm going to place this down here. So it looks like there's boulders down here. We're going to take our other little tree and I'm going to add the mini dimensionals. We're going to add 3 of them. And that one lost its little tab already. And one more. I'm going to place this on the bottom, or on the lower left on this card. Come on, little tab. This card is really a fun card to make. I have enjoyed it. I've made several. So this will just sit right there. Okay, now we're going to put our little car, and isn't that just stinking cute? I think I'm going to just glue the bottom half of this as well. And place his tires on the tracks. Just like that. Isn't that cute? That is the outside of our card. Okay, now we did the inside, and we're going to just take our fast fuse. And we're going to place this on the inside, just like this. And isn't this just so sweet? So I don't do any editing on my videos. What you see is what you get. That's it. I hope you will go and try this card. It's actually pretty fun. It will take you a little bit of time to make your trees. You're going to just stamp your trees on Pear Pizzazz, and then you're going to line up the trees. I have a video where I show how you can mass produce any die that you make. So basically you're going to just be careful to make your first die cut be perfect, and then after you've made it perfect, you're going to have a cutout piece, and then you can mass produce all these pieces just by cutting with your die, and then you'll all of a sudden have several pieces. Save these pieces in your stamp set, and you can just, you know, on a whim, put some cards together. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you like this card. If you do, please give it a thumbs up and go make something uniquely yours. Have a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye.